In this video, I'm going to tell you the 10 essential accessories I keep with me as a photographer. So these are the things I will naturally keep in my kit bag or I'll use on a day-to-day basis. And of course, as always, if you're interested in any of this gear, I have linked it in the description below. So probably one of the first things I buy after getting a new camera is extra batteries. And with extra batteries, you're going to need to charge them. So you kind of need two things for this one. You need more batteries and you need a charging system. And the charging system that I use is called LLANO. Now I have three of these, but I only have two here today. But the other one is with my Fuji X-H2S. Now this one is the CS2. This one is for my Fujifilm X106. As you can see, it's a simple charging system. It comes with two batteries already, so you don't have to buy any extra batteries with this one. It has two SD card slots, and it keeps it all together in a nice little package. This feels very premium, very high quality. You can see how much it's charged already. On this one, it's 96 or 94, so it needs a little bit of a top up, but you just plug it in USB-C and it's lightning quick. Like, this thing charges super fast. And so this is the LLANO CS2, a fab little design and perfect to just slot in my kind of kit bag. Or if I've got a sling bag, this is perfect. This just stops your batteries jiggling about as well. And like I said, yeah, you can put SD cards in there too. But this one is very interesting. This is the CS3, and I use this for my Sony A7 IV, which I'm recording on now. Again, very high quality. You can see it's built like a tank. But with this one, it is a charging bank too. So not only does this charge your batteries really fast, you can charge your batteries without having to plug it into the wall. You can also charge other things like your phone from this. This is a kind of battery charging bank. This one's got more of a spring to it when you open it up. There you go. The only con with this is it doesn't come with batteries. So be aware if you do buy this. If you hold it long enough and you just want to keep them in there and you don't want to charge it, you can turn it off, like so. So this is great as it doubles as two. So these are both great systems. I've used LLANO for a little bit now and these are perfect. They really do an outstanding job and they just keep my batteries, my SD cards, nice and safe. Now the next accessory I have is something that I think every photographer slash filmmaker should have, and that is this small rig toolkit. It comes in handy so often and it really is an essential bit of kit. This is just a workman's tool, but what makes it so great, so small and pocketable, I just keep this on me because you never know what you're going to need to screw in, what you're going to need to tighten up, and what you need to go and attach something to. So it's just good to just keep it either like in your top pocket here, and whenever something arises, which it usually ever does, if you're hanging lights, tripods, any of that stuff, then you just grab into your top pocket. A simple one, but definitely one to consider. Okay, so my next essential accessory are filters. And when it comes to filters, I do have a few. And some of the ones that I like and particularly use a lot are ones like this Freewell magnetic CPL ND filter. I use this one on my X-H2S a lot. It's easy just to magnetically put that on, and you can magnetically protect it like so. And right now I'm using the KNF 3-in-1 VND CPL black mist filter. This one I've been using it non-stop since KNF sent it out to me. Big shout out to them because this is a great filter. And this one just kind of lives on my 24-70 Sony G Master Mark II lens, so I keep that on there. For my Fuji X106, I use Moment's Cine Bloom filter here as a photo dedicated camera. That lives on there. That's my favorite filter at the moment for the X106. I also have a 20% strength. This one's 10, which I've yet to try out yet, but I'm going on a trip soon, so it'll be interesting to try that out fully. And lastly, I use Earth's Ethereal quarter strength black mist filter. Love that lens. I also have one for my X106. They're a really good company and I really like that lens filter. So as you can see, I use a bunch of different filters for different cameras, different lenses, and it's good to have a mix, so I don't have to keep changing them. But if you're looking for just one filter, maybe have a look at something like the KNF 3-in-1. It's nice when it's got more than one capability. Oh right, okay, so the next one is, as you can see, I wear glasses. And I am always losing these kind of microfiber lens cleaner cloths. And not only are they great for my glasses, but they're also fantastic for cleaning lens filters, cleaning lenses, cleaning just gear in general. These were sent to me from K&F, and they do what it says on the tin. They're microfiber cleaning cloths. There's 12 of them, which is great because, like I said, I seem to lose these. These end up in the wash. They end up with my girlfriend. I share these out a lot because people are always losing them. I leave them in pockets everywhere, but there's 12 here. You know, look, I could put 6 for my personal use for my glasses, and I could have 6 here in the house and keep them just when I need to do some cleaning. This is essential. Sadly, it's not the most sexy of products, but you know, look, I hate having smudged glasses, lenses, you know, it's terrible. So if you don't want that, this is definitely something you're gonna need. Now, something you might see in my videos quite often are these little red clips. And some of you have asked what they are, because they kind of like, you know, ears coming out of my camera. But what they are, if you are unaware, is they are Peak Design anchor clips. Now, what they do is they connect to, you know, like a Peak Design strap, and you leave it on your camera the whole time, and instead of having to change the whole strap every time, you leave these on and basically you just slap them in, clamp them up. I have this on my Sony a7 IV right now. I have them on my XH2S. I don't have it on my X106, but when I'm on a trip, I do sometimes add these on. These are just a time saver. If you are wanting to switch camera straps, wrist straps, you know, do that all very swiftly, these are a great thing to have. You probably have seen these dangling off a camera from time to time. Now, you also might have seen one of these. Now, this is an air rocket. This is a great way to clean your sensor, clean the dust off your camera or lens or anything like that. This is good. However, this is better. This is the Nightcore air blower. I got sent this a while ago, but I honestly would say that this is definitely worth buying. This has cleaned so much junk off my sensor, off my camera, my lenses. It's got a nice brush here that will get things like sand and all that dust and all that kind of thing off. This is really, really a kind of classy little accessory. All right, maybe not essential, but if you're looking for something more stronger than, you know, the air rocket air blower thing, this thing is, you know, 10 times better. It's really going to get all the kind of sand and grit and all the things that you want off your camera, especially if it gets on your sensor. You want to be keeping that clean for sure. Okay, the next thing, pretty simple, but you need an SD card. But the trick to this is not getting something too big. Now, they do sell 1 terabyte SD cards. I don't know anyone who shoots that much that's going to need that much storage on an SD card, especially shooting from day to day. And most professionals will be putting and saving all of their photos, all of their footage onto a hard drive and SSD drives at the end of the day. So 1 terabyte is a bit overkill. However, you don't want something like 32 gig. That's a bit small, a bit limiting, and you know, especially if you're doing video as well, you definitely want to be making sure you've got enough. The sweet spot for me is 256 gigs. Some of you might say that's too much, and some of you might say that's too little. But for me, that's kind of the sweet spot. I've never reached the limit of this, and I shoot both video and photo. So at the end of the day, I'll dump all of my footage, all my files onto an SSD, and you know, that will be enough for me. So make sure you do get a good SD card, and one that transfers data quickly. This one is 200 megs, which isn't too bad. So that neatly brings us on to SSDs. Now, some people, I know they use hard drives, they're fine, but hard drives are very prone to breaking. I know people who have lost all their work through hard drives. They're just not as durable. they're not as safe, and they're not as quick. An SSD, as you can see here, is very small. These SanDisk ones that I use have been very good. I haven't had any issues with them, and I have about 8 of them. I think they're water resistant. They really are good. They've got a nice hook if you want to hang them off something. I don't know. I keep them all together in a bag, but SSDs are the way to go for me. SanDisk have been fine, and I use the SanDisk SD card as well. I also label all my SSDs so I know kind of what era I'm in, and if I need to kind of track back through time. So SD cards and SSD cards, very important. They are a videographer's best friend, but if you get bad ones, they can be your worst enemy. Okay, next one sounds obvious, but you need a camera bag. So what I'm going to do really quickly is just tell you all the bags that I have, and I have quite a lot. So this isn't like a deep dive. These are just, I'm going to tell you my favorites. I'm going to tell you what I like and what I don't like very quickly. Let me tell you about the first kind of bag that I take everywhere, I love, and just the go-to. So this is the Pete McKinnon Gomatic Sling Bag. I love this thing. It's so durable. It's weather resistant. It's got all the pockets, features. Oh, it's great. I've made some videos about this. I will make some more videos about this so you know more about it. But this has been my go-to sling for as long as I can remember now. I think 2 or 3 years I've had it. Absolutely. I just keep getting back to it. I try other things, but that's the one. The brand and company Moment have just sent me their sling bag. This is what I would use on a short trip, or if I'm just going down to the shops and I want to take my camera bag, I want to take some photos, I want to go for a walk. I've been using this a lot lately. Really like it. It expands and it shrinks down, so I can also pack it if I'm going somewhere. Moment do make great products, and this is definitely something that I can attest to. I really like their strap, because some sling bag straps aren't that great, which leads me on to this one, which I actually really like this one apart from the strap. It's just a bit flimsy, weak. There's not much padding, and I don't feel much support. But I love the style of this one. I love the brand Earth. They're an ethical company, and yeah, it folds up really lovely in your bag, and you can take it places. And I took it to Korea with me last year, but I haven't used it as much recently, and it's pretty much because of the strap. So they're my 3 sling bags. But when it comes to camera bags, I need to take more lenses, more gear. I'm actually only going to show you one, and that is the one I've used right from the off, and that is the LoPro ProTactic BP 450 AW2. That's a mouthful. Yeah, I just use this. This is solid. It's pretty big. I mean, it's got all the bells and whistles that a camera bag needs. Like I said, I'm not going to go through all of it right now because that is a video all in itself. But they're pretty much what I'm using at the moment. I am more of a sling bag guy. I use sling bags for pretty much all my work. The bag there is for client work, things I'm going to be out all day. I'm going to be using more lenses, but for personal, hobby, or small shoots, sling bags all the way. Okay, so the last accessory you need as a photographer is a tripod. Obvious, right? I know, I haven't mentioned it yet, but yeah, a good tripod is what you need. And again, like the SD card, you are better to buy something that is not too expensive, because you're not doing, feature films or taking photos, maybe you are, but if you would, you'd know that. My point is, you don't want to be spending too little on it. You don't want to be spending too much on it. You want to get something between, I don't know, 80 to 150 pounds on a tripod, maybe a little bit more, depending on your needs. The thing is, if you've just bought yourself a brand new camera, a brand new lens, and you stick that on something that's not reliable, that is going to blow in the wind, it's going to, fall basically and break your gear, forget about it. Like, game over. So don't even bother with the cheap stuff. Just go to the slightly more premium brand, something that's well reputable. One that I use and have been using again for I tell you 2 years is I'm using it right now, is the Manbilly tripod. I'm terrible with the company names. I'm so sorry. Yeah, I use that, have done for a couple of years, like I said. It's lightweight, I travel with it, I take it everywhere. It's perfect. It does what a tripod does, and I'm not worried or scared of it falling over. It's pretty sturdy. So I've kind of learnt about this through trial and error, through watching YouTube videos just like this, and this really has helped me save some money on things that I've nearly bought which didn't. So I do hope this has helped. But if you're thinking of leveling up your photography and you want to know the 10 lessons that I've learned that changed my photography, then a really good idea is to watch this video here.